three pillars of turning your passion into online income. Orange is just the overall kind of pillar, and then red one is what it is not about or what not to do. Green one is about what to do, and then the blue one is a specific journaling exercise that you can do literally today, right after you finish watching this video. If you've actually considered starting your own business and turning your own passion into online income, this is not just something for entertainment. This is actually something that you can walk away with, you can start implementing. The first pillar is find your passion. Okay, I mean, this is kind of like duh, but there's a little bit more that goes into this here, right? So I want to just make sure that we're on the same page with how do you find your passion, or what even is a passion. So let's get into the red one. It is not a specific activity. Something that you're passionate about isn't just a specific activity. It's not multi marketing, it's not teaching, it's not this, it's not that. Something that you are passionate about, let me uncover the green one, is a passion is actually an elevated state of human experience. It is the state, it is the emotions, it's the feelings that you get into when you are doing a specific activity. And it doesn't have to be one specific activity. What we are really trying to monetize here isn't a specific activity that you do in your daily life. What we are trying to monetize here, right, and turning into online income is that elevated state. Meaning, what you're going to be doing, ideally, is something that elevates your state, something that puts you into this amazing experience of life, into an elevated state of human experience. For example, for me, right, coaching and teaching puts me into an elevated state of human experience. I love it. Like, it lights me up, right? I'm here teaching this class because I was supposed to have a podcast. My podcast didn't show up. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go live anyways. And I'm going to teach something, because even if I'm in a lower state and I'm not feeling so great, just by going live and sharing something that I've learned that's helped me, puts me into a better mood, puts me into a better state. Okay. And same with the way why I teach or why I coach people on social anxiety. Exactly the same. It's because it puts me into an elevated state of human experience, right? So then the question, oh, that's the wrong button. Then the question becomes, how do you find these activities that put you into this elevated state of human experience, that you can feel amazing while you're doing something that actually produces income for you? So let's get into the exercise. And this is specifically what you can do. You're going to write down 20 things that you are curious about. Okay? And this is how it works. Things that you are curious about have this innate drive, this innate energy, right? Like, curiosity is a human trait that we don't utilize quite often, right? So we're going to tap into curiosity, and then you're going to look for intersections of many of these curiosities, of multiple of these curiosities. And that way, that's where you really start to get elevated into passion, because multiple things that you are curious about, they blend into, and that activity or that specific thing will help you get yourself into a passionate state. So this is how I understand passion. It's not just like, oh, I'm really passionate about this one thing, and this is what I'm trying to monetize. No, overall, what we want to do is monetize more so the elevated state, right? And that this way, your life itself is going to be better, and you're not going to be burning yourself out quite as much. Right? I've heard a lot of people say, no, you don't want to make your passion into work. Right? Let me go on screen here. I hear a lot of people say, no, you don't want to turn your passion or turn your hobbies into work, because then it stops being so exciting anymore. That's not what we're aiming here, right? We're not just trying to turn a hobby into work. What we are trying to do here is really keep that elevated state, that passionate state, and make sure that we can do that while we're doing an activity that also produces income for us. And hopefully, of course, online. That's what this training is about. That's what this little video is about. So you can become a digital nomad, do all that. So let me get into the second pillar. By the way, Joe, thanks. Oh hell yeah, dude. I hope you like the setup. It's the very first time I'm using this, so I'm kind of juggling how this is gonna work. And here we go. So second pillar. The second pillar is develop a business mindset. Okay. And so this is all about how we make money compared to people who don't have a business mindset or people who are not trying to monetize their passion. And this is how we prevent, by the way, you have to develop a business mindset, whether your passion is music or towards teaching or towards art or towards painting or tech, whatever. You have to develop a business mindset. You have to really develop a business mindset so you prevent yourself from being that starving artist or that starving creative, right? Because so many people are amazing at their crafts, amazing at their passions, but they don't know how to turn that into money, into business, right? So that's not what we want to do. So here's what a business, how we don't make money, exchanging time for money. That's what we want to avoid. And with a very clear business mindset, we are exchanging value and solving problems for money. We are solving people's problems for money or exchanging value, right? So, for example, if I monetizing my passion for helping people with mental health and social anxiety, right? I'm helping them solve their problem. It's very valuable for somebody who's struggling with social anxiety to come to me, buy my course or buy a workshop or start coaching with me, and then they will um, have that problem solved. They will be confident and comfortable in social situations. They will be able to speak to people. They will be able to make friends, right? It's very valuable to them. It solves their problem. So they are happy to exchange money for that. But I am not exchanging my time just like in a job, right? Like in your job, they pay you based on your hour, right? So, oh yeah, I will pay you this amount of money if you spend this amount of time on doing this kind of work for me. So it's a different mindset. And this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg. Right? We can go I'm going to be going a lot deeper into business mindset, and I have other courses that you can check out if you want to. But just this is kind of the one of the main differences into employee mindset or into broke mindset versus like a business mindset. And so the exercise here for you is, we open it up and ask yourself this question. Again, this is a journaling prompt. So, what can I create or provide that is valuable for someone? All right, let me actually highlight these as the exercises here, because these are the things that you will be doing. So, what can you create or provide that is valuable for somebody else, or what problem can you solve for somebody else? Right? What experience have you had in your life before that has now given you an ability or a skill or some knowledge that other people don't have, that relates to the thing that you're curious about, right? Like we talked about here. When you have your curiosities and when you have your intersections between the curiosities, then in that space, what can you create or what service can you provide that will be valuable for somebody else? And let's move on to the next pillar, which is building a personal brand or creating content again. So I will not go into depth, super specific right here into what is a personal brand and how to build it. I will stick to mostly just like the tip of the iceberg and creating content. And personal brand isn't just about social media. Your personal brand isn't just about creating content or dancing on TikTok, right? Your personal brand overall is more about what people say about you when you're not in the room, right? And I know many people who have amazing personal brands, but they basically don't have almost any social media presence, right? So it's not about only about content, and you can do very well with a personal brand without just focusing on content. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of what we're trying to do here, turning it into online income, social media and creating content will be a huge part. But again, this is what we will not focus on, or this is what you don't want to focus on when you're creating content and building your personal brand. You don't want to focus on only having lots of followers and trying to make money from views or AdSense. And this is a trap that lots of people fall into, that they think, oh, if I have millions of subscribers, or if I have millions of followers, or hundreds of thousands of followers, that's how I will make all of my money. And I can assure you that there's many people out there who have huge followings and they are not making the kind of income that they want to make, right? And that's not what we're going to do. Also, it takes a super long time to build a big engaged following and get to the point where you can have so many views that you are making some nice income from that, right? For longer term, yes, but this is a big question that people ask me very often is, especially when I started traveling, I had like 500 followers on Instagram. Everybody would ask me, how can you make money online and on social media? You have like 500 followers. I have more followers than you and I haven't made any money. It's because they didn't understand this business mindset plus how to build a personal brand properly on here. Okay, so let me uncover what we will focus on, what it actually is. We will offer a product or service to a specific audience, right? So we're not trying to get a massive audience, we're trying to have a specific audience. So again, with the example of my social anxiety coaching and my social anxiety workshops and courses, I have a specific audience. I'm trying to speak to a specific audience, people who are struggling with social anxiety, want to overcome it and want to make friends, right? And so to them, even if I have 100, even if I have 50 people in my follow, if I have 50 followers who all struggle with social anxiety and want to overcome it, well, guess what? I can offer them my products or my services, and I can monetize it that way. And I'm again solving their problem. I'm helping them grow and improve in life. I'm helping them overcome their struggles, and in exchange, I'm getting compensated for that, right? And so, lastly, for you, what you have to ask yourself now is what is holding you back from doing this right now? What is really holding you back from starting to do this right now, right? And be really, really, really honest with yourself, because everything that I just laid out, you don't need a massive audience, right? But that's what I just covered. You don't need a lot of capital to get started. You basically don't need any money to get started. With these three pillars, you could literally just get started today. So what is it that's actually holding you back? What is that? Usually it's going to be some sort of a fear or limiting belief, right? And I didn't put this on the whiteboard, but I'll just touch on this a little bit before I wrap up and before I go. It will be some sort of a limiting belief or some sort of a fear that's holding you back, right? For example, I used to have a big limiting belief of like, I'm too young and nobody's gonna listen to my life advice as a coach, or nobody's gonna listen to what I have to say because I don't have enough experience, right? For example, that was a limiting belief that held me back. Or maybe your limiting belief might be, I don't have enough time to actually to really go into this and to do this, or I don't have enough experience or knowledge. Whatever it is, be really, really, really honest with yourself, and then dig deeper into, okay, is this really holding me back? How can I overcome this? And then ask yourself, why not start today? Why keep holding back, right? So I hope that you found this valuable. I just put this together really fast um, while I was waiting if my podcast interview is going to show up. And so I will be doing more of these. So if you watch this and you enjoy this, let me know what kind of classes, what kind of topics would you want me to cover on live like this with a whiteboard. And if you are serious about turning your passion into online income, and you've kind of maybe dabbled in it and you're not really doing so well, or you want to take yourself to the next, or you just really just want to get started, and you're not sure what's holding you back, you're not sure why you haven't started yet, or you have any other reason, any other excuse that your brain is giving you for why you cannot get started now, reach out, let me know in the comments, send me a message. I'm happy to have a conversation. Totally no pressure, no worries conversation, where I'll help you figure out what's holding you back. I'll help you create your own personal strategy. We can go deeper into these principles and a little bit beyond as well. So then you will be able to walk away with a decision whether this is actually for you and you can go all in, or whether maybe this might not be the best life path for you. Right? So I'm looking forward for you I'm looking forward to have a conversation with any of you, and have a great rest of the day, guys.